This program is a presentation of UCTV for educational and non-commercial use only.
From the beautiful seaside campus at the University of California, Santa Cruz, this is State of Minds. Hello and welcome. I'm Shannon Bradley. Tonight we have a full dose of California staples for you. Earthquakes, fine dining, the perfect grass, and a story of a UCSC undergraduate who went on to get her PhD, returned to her alma mater as faculty, and now has a new documentary on a subject near and dear to her heart, Folklorico, the traditional Mexican dance.
Folklorico dance is a stylized choreographed dance that is used in theatrical settings.
And we'll have more with Olga Nájera-Ramírez later in the program.
We turn now to Olga Nájera-Ramírez, a professor of anthropology and filmmaker here at UC Santa Cruz. She grew up in nearby Davenport, one of 6 children born to Mexican immigrants. Her father died when she was 8. Her mother then had to choose: return with her family to Mexico or stay in California.
So my mother felt that we would have more stability here in the United States, and she decided to keep us here. And but of course we needed some source of employment. So during the summer, for about 3 or 4 years, we went up the coast to pick peas in the fields. And that was quite an experience. It was very foggy and cold in the morning, and then by the afternoon the sun was really hot, and it was not the kind of work that I enjoyed. But a lot of people from Davenport engaged in that work, so it wasn't like it was a lonely experience, but it was a difficult experience.
What Olga wanted to do was become a teacher, so she applied and was admitted to Merrill College at UC Santa Cruz. There she found her passion in Los Mexicas, a folklorico dance group run by UCSC students.
The enthusiasm and the pride that they projected was captivating, and I thought, I am signing up, and I just really loved it, but I was really interested in knowing more. Where do we get these dances? Why do they wear these kinds of skirts? What about the kind of music? So I was just fascinated, and I discovered quickly that there wasn't a lot of written information. A lot of the information that I began to discover was through my participation in dance conferences.
It was at one of those conferences that she met 2 people who would play great roles in her life: her future graduate student and collaborator Russell Rodriguez, and Rafael Zamarripa, the acclaimed folklorico choreographer then visiting from Mexico.
When the maestro Zamarripa gave his lecture in this nice auditorium filled with all these students that were just eager to hear what he had to say, he spoke very eloquently, and it was very clear that he had done some primary research on this topic, and I thought, I just think this man is so knowledgeable. And then he told us, and he's very open and very welcoming, and he said, and I teach at the University of Guadalajara, and you are welcome to come and visit me, and I have a school there, and I have a company there. And when I came home from Pueblo, I told my mother, I'm going to Guadalajara, and I knew better than to ask her if I could go.
Olga did go for 3 years and then pursued a PhD in Texas, all the while dancing and studying folklorico. Her work led to a faculty position in anthropology at UC Santa Cruz and an appointment as faculty advisor to Los Mexicas, the dance group that had attracted her as an undergraduate. And when Los Mexicas invited Zamarripa to come watch them perform on campus, Olga approached her former teacher with an idea.
Your work is incredible. You've done so much for folklorico dance groups, not only in Mexico, but in the United States. You really fostered this, our need to know about our culture, and you've been very generous. You've been quite an influence. You should write your story. And he says, Olga, we're driving over 17 while we're having this discussion, and he says, Olga, he says, I don't have time. And he says, why don't you do it?
She agreed, but decided that his story was too visual for a book, so she and Russell Rodriguez spent the next several years making a documentary about the history of Folklorico and the artistic influence of Zamarripa.
Can you describe for me the feeling of collaboration or whatever it was when you were down there shooting and interviewing Rafael and working with Olga? And I mean, I imagine that was a pretty heady time for you.
You know, of course, it was very nostalgic, you know, because of our connection to Zamarripa since the early 70s, you know, the mid 70s. And to see all his dancers, again, is like, you know, do you remember how skinny we used to be when we danced, you know? And these beautiful bodies, you know, just the lines, all these beautiful bodies in movement, you know, was just incredibly inspiring.
Mi trabajo en la danza consiste en no deformar las danzas, no deformar los sones, cuidarlos más celosamente que ningún otro. Pero el marco de referencia está envuelto en una atmósfera teatral, no solamente en una exhibición de bailes.
It requires having the training in dance and the whole artistry. And Zamarripa is exceptionally talented in that area, which makes the quality of his programs extremely exciting.
Cuando usted me pregunta si es importante la danza folclórica en este momento en México, voy a responder muy simple. Es una necesidad de comunicación con los demás. El arte es una comunicación. El arte, danza, pintura, escultura, lo que se llame, es la expresión de un sentimiento.
The film premiered on the Santa Cruz campus in March, enticing yet another generation of Los Mexicas to embrace the art and tradition of Folklorico dance.